So, recently, I dropped the word Sasquatch from my channel name. I've been meaning to do it for a while now, and I'm making this video in part as an explanation for that, and how that ties in with my current philosophical approach that has shaped my modus operandi into what it is today. This approach has been evolving ever since I first started this little hobby of mine. When I first started my channel, I had the misguided belief that I had to have the word Bigfoot or Sasquatch included in my channel name, in the titles of my videos, and regularly referenced within each video. This seems to be the norm for other successful YouTubers out there, so why not follow suit? I did for a while, but the words just seemed to rub me the wrong way. Some of you already know my story, as Bob Gimlin did a great job, as per usual, in the telling of it, in his Sasquatch of the Driftless Forests video. I never got a clear look at it. If I never heard of Bigfoot or Sasquatch before that day, I would be completely confused. At the time, I just felt I needed to explain what I had experienced, and in doing so, I filled in the gaps. What else could it be? I self-justified to my inner dialogue. What else could make those huge, intimidating popping sounds, I thought. You know that feel when you're at a concert and the bass drum is driving the fabric of your shirt to lightly tap on your sternum? That is one detail of my encounter that I remember, that I really glom onto when I have any doubts. That and the glimpse of the jet black long hair strands swaying from what I presume to be its left arm as it moved in unison with the pops. Those are the details that stick out the most. The internal flash flood of emotions I was experiencing is something else entirely. I think I could write a small novel on the significance of those first few moments of realization. It's quite the strange feeling to have an entire lifetime of understanding of how you thought the natural world works, how society separates the nonsense from the truth, all washed away in mere moments. What I'm feeling is really hard to convey to you is the suddenness of it. Having one's world perception turned on its head is nothing new, but the human brain was not designed to rationalize and compartmentalize this new world view in such a short time, and with such absolute certainty. Anyways, what I'm trying to get at here, without getting too far off subject, is that I don't like using the words Bigfoot or Sasquatch. Mostly because I never got a good look at it, and I just filled in the blanks. What is for sure, though, there was something huge up above me in that ravine that day, clapping its hands on its chest or together in front of its mouth. So intimidating was the percussion, it's hard to rationalize any other intent for the creature's actions. I was certain the popping sounds were directed at me. Some of you who have followed my channel closely over the past few years may have noticed that I have been changing some of the titles of my older videos to purge the words Bigfoot or Sasquatch out. And the channel name change was just something I had to do to literally get the monkey off my back. Here's an interview with Neil deGrasse Tyson that I want to show you from a CNN interview. He describes the proper mindset regarding the application of the scientific method towards any unknown. In this case, the unknown he's being interviewed about are UFOs. But in doing so, he creates a microcosm of the relationship between true science towards the unknown and the frustration of the public in not having all the answers right frickin' now. The microcosm is even complete with CNN's female anchor perfectly playing the part of the frustrated public. Let's just roll the tape before I continue.
Practicality of this with astrophysicist director of the Hayden Planetarium, Neil deGrasse Tyson, rock star of science explanation.
It's real
because
it's in the movie, so it's real.
And this is his book, which is awesome, Astrophysics for People in a Hurry. God bless you.
Bestseller.
Oh, yeah, thank you. Yeah, I'm
Perfect
still
gift
shocked that people care about it at the level they have.
You shouldn't be. You are our science explainer-in-chief, and so explain what you see on that video.
Well, so people, I think, have conflated the concept of a UFO with whether we're visited by aliens. UFO means unidentified flying object. Okay? This is a highly non-specific term.
Yeah.
It is so non-specific, it admits you don't know what you're looking at.
But what's driving that thing if not a space alien?
It's unidentified.
Okay.
So
That's not good enough.
well, so the universe brims with mysteries. And so just because you don't know what it is you're looking at doesn't mean it's intelligent aliens visiting from another planet.
Yes.
You just said you don't know what you're looking at. So it's not, you cannot, as a next sentence, say, therefore it must be anything.
Yes, but you know what we're looking at. You stare at the cosmos for a living.
I'm not authorized to go beyond this part.
Wow.
You're in.
But we're serious. So
No, a couple of things. Just
what do you see?
consider what made people interested in this is that it involved the Pentagon and $22 million, or whatever the figure was. Consider, by the way, that's $22 million over 5 years, and the Pentagon's budget is huge. So how much of the Pentagon budget is that? It's 0.0001% of the Pentagon budget. So A. B, it's a flying object and we don't know what it is. I would hope somebody is checking it out. I would hope there's a program of our Defense Department to make sure they do not pose a threat. And sure enough, that's what that program was.
But it just buzzed away. They didn't know what it was.
Of course.
We still don't know. It's a mystery.
We still don't know.
But hold on.
And I'm cool with that.
Okay, that's where we differ. You're cool with letting that,
Scientists live
out there.
in mystery every day of our lives. There is the circle of knowledge that we have, and then there's beyond that circle is the unknown. And even as the perimeter of that knowledge grows, okay, as the area of the knowledge grows, so does the perimeter of our ignorance. All right, because it's touching this wider and wider area.
Okay, I understand.
So
But
people are uncomfortable not knowing, not the scientist. I'm fine. We don't know what it is. Keep checking it out.
Okay, but hold on a second. There's
call
another
me
question.
when you have dinner invite from an alien.
That's
a
so
different
you're
conversation.
skeptical.
Now, I don't want to get off track with talk of UFOs here. I have no opinion on them as of yet, as I've never observed one. We could just as easily install the Bigfoot phenomena or any other unknown in place of UFOs for this next segment. I'm more interested in Neil's grassroots explanation of how our recognition of our ignorance grows as we expand our knowledge. In practice, placing this X outside of the known is infinitely harder than this diagram makes it look. Espousing myself to this model puts incredible stress on my knowledge of the natural world. When trying to understand the unknown, you have to study the known, right? The only way to determine what is unknown is to expand my knowledge of the known. Online tools have made this process easier than ever before. A veritable Library of Congress at your fingertips. Even with all the new online tools at my disposal, I still need help from time to time from some experts out there. Mostly ornithologists, but there are other times when I need to run some sounds past a coyote expert or a forester, etc., etc. This list of others I've reached out to goes on and on. The blue arrow here represents this vetting process. It is the action, the verb, the hero that is the process of graduating an observation to an unknown. These specialists in their particular fields of study will be quick to point out what something is when they recognize it, but they pump their brakes when declaring an observation is from an unknown animal. To do so would leave them wide open to professional attack. They will rarely, if ever, give what I call a positive-negative identification, which would essentially mean that they would be positive that my observation is not from a known bird species. This is a ornithologist example I'm using, obviously. These people don't get their PhDs by being dumb. They're not going to go on record as saying that this sound that I recorded in the Schwamigan National Forest in the middle of an early July night is definitely not from anything known to science, or even just to say that it is a human whistle, which I would gladly accept. But they won't even do that. for fear that some ambitious grad student might later point out that it was from a known bird. Even if they are sure in their own mind that they in fact do not possess the knowledge that can match this whistle to any known bird, they are not going to respond to my query. It's just easier to ignore me. Wait for somebody else to take the bait as they watch and wait in the shadows. All to protect the shield of credibility around their professional reputation. This whole dynamic is frustratingly stupid, as it shows just how the expert in today's competitive world has a decreased value when asked to function in this manner. They seem to be handcuffed by their reputation. It exposes a point of diminishing returns on higher education when asked to function for common folks with common questions. Keep in mind, I'm still talking about this frickin' blue arrow here, and all this hoop jumping I do for just this one observation. Now I have many other observations that require other expert opinions before I can eliminate them from my tool shed of known things. So a couple of things can be extracted from all of this. 1. If I ever declare an observation as outside of the known, as shown as X here, it means I have exhausted so much of my effort to do so that I have no time to speculate on the significance or cause of X once I place it outside of the red. And I really don't care to. I'm cool with not knowing. That is a point where our CNN news lady, who represents public perception regarding the process of understanding,
they didn't know what it
would
was.
have her melt.
Of course.
We still don't know. It's a mystery.
We still don't know.
But hold on.
And I'm cool with that.
Okay, that's where we differ. You're cool with letting that.
Scientists live
out there.
in mystery every day of our lives.
I don't study Bigfoot. It would be a big mistake to assume that I'm making inferences between X and Bigfoot being the cause. Even though Bigfoot would be contained within the unknown in this diagram, I can't reverse the blue arrow just because I've seen one of these things. By definition, it is still unknown. Nope, no Bigfoot observations here. Unknowns only. There might be plenty of other weird shit going on in our woods that all can't be explained away by a giant hairy biped. I don't spend my time thinking about mid-tarsal joints, compliant gaits, inline trackways, gifting arm-to-leg ratios, etc., etc. But if Bigfoot is in the category of the unknown, in a roundabout way, a future puzzle master might be able to piece together my unknown observations to that of a Bigfoot or a Sasquatch, presuming official recognition of the species exists at that time. Second point. From time to time, without expert help in vetting some of my observations, I might make a mistake. When that happens, I will make a video explaining the entire process. I will debunk the original video, then change the visibility of the video from public to unlisted, which would be only accessible through the link in the description below the debunk video. The whole process isn't quite as careless as throwing spaghetti against the wall to see if it sticks, but I guess it's kind of like that. I don't want to delete the mistaken observations. No, I need to chronicle the whole process. I value transparency above all else. It's also a handy tool for teaching, an observation that fooled me, and it might come in handy to add to someone else's tool shed of known things, sharpening their perception through a better process of elimination.